Good morning, Debbie. Are you still sleeping, sis? How have you been? Why are you suddenly contacting me? I'm up, of course. You're up early. I heard that the ugly need to wake up early because they are super busy at work. Don't be rude. Besides, today is a holiday. Is that so? I've rarely had to work. So weekdays, weekends, it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, you know how cute I am. So I've never had a need to work, get a job. Is that so? So why are you contacting me? And you know, my fiancé is really wealthy. So I have no problems in the world. Can you just get to the point already? Can't you tell? I just want to thank you. For what? For introducing me to a super wealthy man like Eddie. As I recall, I didn't exactly introduce you to. Really? Is that how you remember it? I remember. In the beginning, Eddie was your fiancé. I forgot. My bad. You really are the worst. I cannot begin to understand why you would contact me to tell me something like this. It took Eddie 3 years to propose to you, Debbie. But with me, all it took was 3 months. There must have been issues in your relationship. And with you. Is that so? That very well may be so, but it doesn't make a difference to me anymore. I still don't know why you would want to say all of this to me. I just want to express my gratitude, Debbie. I never imagined I would be able to get married to such a rich, handsome man so quickly. You're the reason. I'm so happy. Thank you, thank you. Fine. See you. Wait. Are you still jealous? Jealous? Of whom? Me, of course. Because I'm so beautiful. I know you've been jealous of me in the past. Are you still jealous? That your beautiful little sister found love and happiness? Before dumpy old me? Are you pulling out your hair? I don't care anymore. I've accepted it. Really? I know that's a lie. I know you're really jealous of me. You're so persistent. I really don't care. I'll admit when Eddie and I first broke up, I was sad. And to let my friends, family, and everyone at work know the wedding was canceled was really embarrassing. But it was 3 months ago. I've gotten over it. Ugh, stop acting so mature. I bet it's eating you up inside. Lastly, let me share this wonderful news. Our wedding is today. How do you feel now, miss? I'm so mature, I don't care that my sister stole my fiancé. That's weird. Haven't you heard? About what? And can't you be more surprised? It was really difficult not saying anything until the wedding day. The wedding you wanted but couldn't have. You know the church you and Eddie were planning to hold your wedding? We're having it there. Is that so? Congratulations. Oh, I know you don't really mean it. I know it's killing you. This is how life goes. Beautiful people always get married first. I wonder when it will be your turn. If your turn will ever come. I couldn't care less. It's none of your business, Shelley. It doesn't concern you. It concerns me. Because, well, you know, I feel sorry for you. I mean, while I'm happy, you're so miserable. It would make me feel a tiny bit guilty. I know that's a lie. Oh, you saw right through me. I don't feel guilty at all. I feel victorious. Oh, and Debbie, sorry about not inviting you today. You know how Eddie's parents are about appearances and all. They didn't want you, his ex-fiancé, to come, as you may ruin the wedding, so I couldn't invite you. It's fine. I wouldn't have attended even if you had invited me. You don't have to put up a strong front. Anyways, I've gotten bored of teasing you, so I guess I'll start to get ready. Is that so? See ya, my sister, the loser. Debbie? What did you do? How can you? What are you talking about? I don't understand this at all. Why did none of our relatives attend? It isn't normal. What did you do? I know you had something to do with this, Debbie. I can't get a hold of Mom. What's going on? Really? They didn't attend? Not a single relative? Yes, not a single relative. The table for our relatives, it was empty. A total of 0. That's why I had asked you before if you hadn't heard anything. I don't understand. I didn't mean it as revenge or anything serious like that, but I contacted all our relatives before your wedding. What did you tell them? And you know, Mom, she didn't think your wedding was, well, appropriate under the circumstances, and was really troubled on what she should do. So after speaking with Mom, we contacted all of our relatives. Contacted all of our relatives? What did you say to them? That Shelley's husband-to-be was engaged to me just a month ago. We explained what you did, to steal him from me. If they were to attend your wedding, we wanted them to understand and accept these circumstances, so they could truly wish you all the best for your future, even under these circumstances. Well, how could you? No one told me anything. I thought Mom or Dad would have told you about it. Don't put it like that. I haven't been home recently. I've been spending all my time at Eddie's apartment. I presumed that naturally everyone would come to my wedding. Mom said she contacted you. No way. How did she contact me? Mom? You know Mom doesn't use WhatsApp and always contacts us via email. Have you forgotten? Was it like that? I've always lived at home, so we spoke face to face. I don't recall ever getting an email from her. Anyhow, she told me she informed you of everything via email. She wrote how we're going to cut off all ties to you. You've got to be lying. No, I'm looking at her email now. That she no longer wants to have anything to do with me? There's no way that's possible. Why? I don't understand. It's not like a younger sibling took the older sibling's toy or something. You stole my fiancé. I'm sure they are embarrassed by your actions. You dragged our family through the gutter. Mom, Dad, me, even yourself. Even then, parents have an obligation to be happy for their daughter. Mom was really troubled. I feel bad for putting her through that. So we decided to use the compensation money that Eddie's family gave us and are in Europe right now on a family vacation. What? Why? How? What? And Mom and Dad, they've moved. They are not going to tell you their new address. What are you saying? I can't understand a single thing. All of us are going to sever all ties to you. Come again? It doesn't make any sense. Just because I got married. It isn't just that. You wanted to get married to my fiancé. Don't you think you crossed a line? Don't say that. I never had that intention. I saw your handsome boyfriend and I was just teasing, messing around. Well, it was a blessing for me to see Eddie's true colors before we got married. To hook up with my very own sister. He's just as bad as you. It's all Eddie's fault. There's no reason for you all to abandon me. By the way, were Eddie's parents okay? What are you talking about? You know how concerned they are about appearances. Weren't they upset when they saw none of the bride's relatives attended? Well, they weren't happy. But Eddie and I are spending the night at the plaza, so we don't have to deal with them. Eddie is at his parents' house now, but it's only to pick up his stuff. Now that you mention it, he is a little late coming back. If you don't mind, I guess it's fine. But you know how his mother is. I wonder what she must be saying to Eddie. Wait a minute. Debbie! I just received a text saying he wants to break up. From Eddie? Right now, on WhatsApp. Eddie's parents are saying I've ruined their reputation? So he wants to end things with me? But you already filed your marriage papers, right? We were going to do it first thing tomorrow morning. Our marriage is not legal yet. What does this mean? Could it be that I, in all my beauty, was dumped? Could it be? I couldn't care less, but I can't imagine how Eddie, who is a mama's boy, would go against her wishes just to marry you, Shelley. Actually, at today's wedding, a lot of my friends didn't come as well. Eddie's mom stopped the Reverend in the middle of the ceremony. Is that so? Eddie's parents told the Reverend there's been some mistake, and they were really sorry, but we needn't proceed with the ceremony. She told the wedding staff to cancel everything, but we would of course still pay for everything. Isn't that your responsibility? I received a text saying I need to pay for everything. Is that so? Why are you laughing? It isn't funny. There's no way I could pay for such a luxurious wedding. I can't pay for all of the expenses. Did Eddie's parents say they would pay for it? Originally they did, but now they've changed their mind and want me to pay for everything. Isn't that insane? It's because they were embarrassed. And you, Shelley, are the reason they were embarrassed. Under these circumstances, it isn't unreasonable for them to expect you to pay some type of compensation. I think you owe them something for what you put them through. There's no way I can afford it. I'm unemployed, remember? I don't even have experience doing part-time work. The only work I've done is on my beauty, and that was to snag a rich, handsome husband. What am I supposed to do? How am I to know? It's your own fault. Why don't you beg Eddie for a discount? Even with a discount, there's no way I could pay. I've never had much savings, so I'll have to borrow it from Dad. But does Dad have this much in his savings? I still haven't paid him back for the money I borrowed before. You've got to be kidding. There's no way he's going to lend you any more money. Huh? Why do you think he'll say no? I won't know until I ask him. I know. As I said before, all of us are severing our ties with you. We've moved. We won't ever see you again. We'll live happily ever after, as a family. Wait, don't abandon me! Shelley, get a job, and live your own life. Don't ever contact me again. Goodbye, you backstabbing, black-hearted loser. Shelley apologized and asked Eddie to lower the amount she had to pay, but Eddie's mom wouldn't accept her request. So Shelley had to pay the full amount for all the wedding expenses. She was sued for the amount of the wedding, and Eddie kicked her out of his apartment the very next day. So she took out a loan to pay for the wedding and tried to find a job where boarding was included. But with little work experience, no one would hire her. As a result, with beauty being her only asset, she got a job as an escort.
Hey, Twinnie. I've got some incredibly exciting news.
Well, the only time you ever text is when you have news to share or you need money. What is it this time around?
LOL. You don't have to be that way. So, do you want to hear what I have to share or not?
All right. What's the big news? It must be something pretty thrilling, judging by your out-of-the-blue message.
You won't believe what I'm about to reveal.
Sasha, spill the beans already.
I'm going to be a journalist for a fashion magazine. Isn't that fantastic? Oh, I'm absolutely thrilled.
That's incredible. Landing a position like that is an incredibly challenging accomplishment. You've always aspired to be a part of the fashion industry, so this must be exhilarating for you. How did you manage to secure the job?
Well, it's actually quite an amusing tale. I stumbled upon an online job posting for it. It was cleverly tucked away on one of the fashion magazine's websites, so I decided to take a chance and apply.
That's fantastic. You know what they say, you'll never achieve something if you don't give it your all.
Absolutely. Although, I have to admit, the application process wasn't a walk in the park. The form was intricate and filled with dense, jargon-heavy language. There were numerous terms I struggled to comprehend. Not to mention, they required an extensive portfolio to ensure they chose the right candidate for the role. I honestly felt like my head might explode from all the effort it took to complete that application.
Wait a minute. You don't have any experience in fashion magazine writing, and you don't have any previous work or a portfolio. How did you even apply for the job?
Well, let's just say I have my methods.
You mean you used someone else's work and presented it as your own?
You're making it sound so much less glamorous than how I explained it. It's not like I'm some terrible criminal.
Well, if you're using someone else's work to try and secure a job, then it's not the most ethical approach.
What's the big deal? The work passed their scrutiny. They should be pleased that a prestigious fashion magazine appreciated their work enough to advance it to the in-person interview stage. It's a compliment, really. If anything, they should be grateful that I chose to showcase their work. Otherwise, they might have gone unnoticed.
But it's not your work. Doesn't it bother you to use someone else's efforts and claim them as your own?
Why not? If they didn't seize the opportunity, I believe it's fair game.
How do you plan to perform the job, though? Without prior experience in writing for a magazine like that, or any background in the fast-paced fashion industry.
Oh, I'm sure it won't be that difficult. I mean, it's just expressing my opinions about clothing. It's not exactly rocket science.
Your tone suggests you're not particularly enthusiastic about the job.
Well, it's not like I'm over the moon about it. It's still work, after all.
So what's getting you so excited then?
Seriously? Can't you guess? The fashion! I'll have access to amazing discounts on top brands. I'll be the envy of everyone because I'll look like $1,000,000.
Ah, I see.
I don't think you fully grasp the kind of clothing I'll have access to. Louis Vuitton, Dior, Gucci, it'll all be within reach.
Well, that's fantastic for you.
Listen, just because you prefer a more understated style or occasionally shop from thrift stores doesn't mean the rest of us are wrong for aspiring to something more upscale. Not all of us want to give the impression that we don't care about our appearance.
Hold on a second. What are you implying? I do care about how I look. Wearing designer labels every day doesn't define one's sense of style or grooming. Plus, charity shops can be treasure troves for designer brands. You'd be surprised at what people donate. Classic Gucci pieces and more. Maybe they're not the latest trends, but they often have timeless appeal, offering a touch of elegance and a superior fit.
Let's face it, you have a different fashion sense. You might prefer a pair of well-worn jeans and an old sweater over a sophisticated dress or skirt and blouse ensemble. Hilarious, isn't it?
What's going on? Why are you being so harsh? I wasn't criticizing your new job opportunity. I was just asking how you plan to handle it.
No, you were attempting to belittle me and my new job. It's clear that you can't handle the fact that I'm making strides in my life, and you're envious because I'm finally pursuing a career, unlike you.
What are you implying?
It's pretty straightforward. You spend most of your days lounging around at mom and dad's place, consuming their resources, eating their food, and using their utilities. When are you going to stop being unemployed and actually get a job?
I'm not a failure. I've been working diligently on a project that I believe will open up better opportunities for me.
Oh, your little writing project. It's a total waste of time, and everyone knows it. You probably spend your days in your room, possibly napping or playing games, pretending to write and work on a book or something equally unimportant. Even if you manage to finish it, I doubt anyone will want to read it. I'm willing to bet it's dreadfully dull.
What's actually dreadful is the way you make assumptions about something you know nothing about.
Here's the best advice you will ever get. Re-enter the job market and seek a more stable position instead of spending your days scribbling in that notebook. It's not benefiting anyone, and it's not putting money in your pocket. Consider working in a grocery store or something to start earning a living. It's rather disheartening to see you invest so much time in something that may never pay off, unlike my promising new job opportunity.
Well, you haven't actually secured the job yet. You've only progressed to the in-person interview. It's not guaranteed that you will be hired or anything.
At least I'm exploring new opportunities and enjoying life. It's not my fault if you're envious of my achievement while you feel stuck.
Are you done with your lecture? I've had to endure this every day for the past few months, and it's getting repetitive.
I'm just being honest. If you don't appreciate the truth, maybe it's time to make a change.
Whatever.
I'm just looking out for you. Sooner or later, mom and dad might grow weary of you being around and decide to ask you to leave. I'm just trying to ensure you're prepared when it happens. Nobody wants to live with an idle, unemployed individual.
Did mom or dad tell you that they feel this way?
Well, mom has dropped hints, and I wouldn't be surprised if she directly addresses it soon and asks you to move out.
Right. I see. How about you focus on preparing for your interview instead of spreading falsehoods to frighten me?
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Hi, Mom.
Holly, is everything okay? You don't usually text me like this.
Well, not really. Are you planning on asking me to leave the house?
Oh, you found out about that. Did Sasha mention it?
Is it true?
Come on, sweetie. You're 24 now. It's time for you to consider moving out and finding your own place. You can't live with your dad and me indefinitely, can you? I'm sure you like your own space, right? It's not much fun living with your parents as a young adult. You probably want your own place to host friends and such, and that's not really feasible here.
So you're trying to make it sound like you are doing me a favor. But is Sasha also leaving the house?
Well, no. She's staying for the time being. She needs a stable place to live while she pursues her new job.
She's going to take over my room, right?
We're planning to convert it into a writing room for her. She needs a dedicated space to work.
Seriously? You're kicking me out so you can turn my room into an office for Sasha? Can't you see how unfair that is? I get that she's your favorite, but this just doesn't seem right. I don't have a place to go.
I'm sure you'll find a solution. You're a clever young woman, after all. But I do believe it's best if you move out by the end of the month.
What? That's so soon.
Sooner is better. It will give you a sense of independence. Besides, if Sasha secures her job, she'll need a workspace immediately. So we need to prepare it for her.
But Mom...
I'll help you search for a new place later. Right now, I have to meet with Sasha and discuss her fashion job. We'll talk later.
Mom mentioned she talked to you earlier about the whole moving out situation. I did say they'd want you to leave soon.
They only wanted me out because of you, right? This was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, I might have nudged them in that direction.
Nudged them? They're kicking me out, and I have no place to go.
You'll find a solution. Plus, it's clear Mom wants to provide me with every opportunity to succeed in my chosen career, given my promising prospects. So please ensure you moved out by this weekend, alright? I need my office ready when I secure my new job, and my interview is next week, leaving limited time for the preparations.
Whoa, hold on a minute. I can't agree to that. I'm not going to be left without a place to stay. I'll talk to Mom and address this.
Fine, but don't say I didn't caution you.
Holly, we discussed this. You need to move out.
Mom, what are you talking about?
Sasha informed me that you don't want to move out. We've discussed this. You must vacate your room to create an office space.
Mom, if you make me leave, I'll literally have no place to go.
I understand it's difficult, but there's nothing more I can do. You'll need to find another place to stay.
Mom!
No, that's my final decision, and I don't want to discuss it further.
Fine. Well, you win, Sasha. I hope it was worth it. My room will be empty by tomorrow.
Glad you've realized your place. Maybe now you'll find some motivation to be productive.
Actually, just so you know, all this time when you thought I was just lazing around and scribbling in my notebook, I was working on a story. I've written a full-fledged book, and earlier today, I had a meeting with high-level executives from some major publishing companies. They're eager to publish my book, and some have even likened it to the next Harry Potter. It's incredible, really. They've offered me a substantial upfront payment and royalties once it starts selling. They believe it's going to be a massive success and generate significant revenue.
What? That's impossible.
LOL, you better believe. Oh, and just a heads up, I know you used my work for your magazine interview. I figured that I would be your best bet for getting hired. The only catch is that I've embedded hidden markers within my work to confirm that you didn't write it.
What are you talking about?
Well, because you used to copy my homework during high school, I got into the habit of inserting notes in certain paragraphs, making it clear that they were not your own. These notes often conclude with me stating that I was the original author and that your version was a copy. If you've used one of my pieces, it will undeniably bear my personal signature.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe you did that. Now I've probably blown my chances of getting the job.
Well, maybe you should have tried using your own work instead of resorting to plagiarism. It's too late for you now, but it's a valuable lesson for the future.
Seriously, Holly? You owe me a share of the money from your book. It's the least you can do after sabotaging my only opportunity in the fashion industry.
I didn't sabotage anything. You're the one who used stolen work. How did you plan to write the actual articles? Get someone else to do it for you? That's not a sustainable approach.
I would have figured something out. I would have learned while on the job.
I really doubt that would have worked.
Just because you've written a book doesn't make you a writing expert. I could have done that just as well.
If that's the case, why don't you try writing your own book and see how easy it is? Anyway, now that I have a substantial amount of money, I can finally afford to buy my own place to live. I won't have to tolerate your presence or Mom's favoritism any longer.
Well, at least consider letting me move in with you.
LOL. No chance. You can stay at Mom's place. Besides, you've got my old bedroom now. Why would you want to leave it so soon?
I was just thinking that.
Exactly. Anyway, I've got to run now. I have some important meetings to attend. See ya.
Holly, wait! I really need you. There is a good chance I will get fired soon. Do you think you can lend me some money?
Not anymore. I have always put everyone first before myself. I have done so much for you, but all you do is stab me in the back.
We can start all over again. We can mend our relationship.
Too late for that. Bye, twin sis. I swiftly moved out of my parents' house and into my very own apartment, thanks to the money I earned from the book. My book went on to become the bestseller of the year. However, things didn't turn out so great for Sasha, Mom, and Dad. Sasha got fired a few weeks after she started her job, since she wasn't qualified in the first place. She ended up relying on Mom and Dad, until they became fed up and demanded she contribute to household expenses. Sasha was compelled to find work at a local supermarket, earning minimum wage. My parents tried reaching out to me, but after how they treated me, I wasn't too eager to engage with them. Sometimes in life, you have to remove toxic individuals, even if they're family, to foster growth. It can be challenging, but it's often for the better. To lead a fulfilling life with good mental health, you need a supportive and positive support system.